Hey guys, welcome back to Six at Calcio. If you're looking for the Match Day podcast, unfortunately this isn't going to be the Match Day podcast. Today just going to be me and Joe, the two Juventini over here, and this is just going to be a rant on Juve's current situation, on how we can't clinch the Scudetto, how bad the team is, and just how bad the season's been going. So if you're a Juventus fan, stick around. If you're another fan, a Milan fan, Roma fan, whatever fan you might be, if you want to listen to it, just stick around, get some popcorn. We're going to be here a while. Just a disclaimer, it's all about Juventus, this podcast. So, Joe, I'm going to let you hit the floor with this one. What's happening with Juve this season and in general?
Well, I really, these last couple of months, without soccer, I was really thinking that Juve would come out of the break a new team with Sarri, with new plans and new adjustments and new ways of playing soccer. But it's really the same since the beginning. We've been really struggling versus every team we've been playing this year, other than maybe the two Inter games and maybe you could even say the Lazio game last time. But even that was a little bit difficult at the end there. And we've just really been struggling every single game. There's really no way of describing the way we played because we don't play a certain way. There's no game plan. It's just getting balls into the box, and half the time it doesn't even hit the box. It goes out of the play. So it's really a disaster from Juve. There's really been a handful of players where you could say that they've had a great season. I would say Ronaldo and Dybala have been our best players throughout the season, and other than that, our forwards have been really piss poor. A report this morning that Costa is pulled up with another injury. He only played about 20 to 30 minutes yesterday, and he got injured. But I do think that the grass played a major role in that. The grass at Udinese yesterday was not good at all. But at the end of the day, I think there's a lot of players, and me and Francesco will go through this a little bit later, that need to be sold. Pretty much the whole team needs to be sold at this point. We need a whole new rebuild. And at the moment, we're only 3 points away from the Scudetto. But I feel that if we do mess it up versus Sampdoria on Sunday afternoon, that we could be in a lot of trouble. We verse Cagliari, which is a team that's given us problems the last couple of years, and a team that could disappoint. And then at the end, we verse Roma, who's fighting for the Europa League spot. So it's not over yet. I feel if we don't beat Sampdoria on Sunday, there's going to be a lot of difficulties with Cagliari and Roma. But that's a whole new different story. Me and Francesco are here to talk about the struggles with us. And, I think the struggles come more than just the team. I think the management play a huge part in it. I think that hiring Sarri at the beginning of the year was a mistake from us. I know that the man needs time, but we haven't really seen Sarri balls this whole season, really. We've been playing the same since October, September, and there's really been no change. It's just either individual brilliance to win us games or games that, it's 50-50, and at the end we end up getting the 3 points. It's really not been a lot of games this year where we dominated and really killed the team. And it's sad to say because, over these years, Juve has been not only dominant in the league, but even dominant in Europe. And so far this year, we haven't seen both. Yes, we're still first place in the Serie A, but it's not because we're the good team. It's because the other teams below us are dropping points also. If Lazio and Atalanta were the teams they were before the COVID started, I think that Juve would be either second or third in the league table right now, and we'd probably be discussing why Juve is not winning the Serie A. But, other than that, there's going to be lots of changes this summer, and I'm going to make Francesco speak a little bit here.
Yeah, the whole team, like Joe said, needs a rebuild, starting from the management up top. I like what Sarri's bringing to the table. I like his project, but as of right now, he's not showing why he deserves to be on Juve's bench next season. But then again, I think it's comfortability. I don't think I think Sarri knows. I think the management knows, and I think the team knows. There's not really a manager you could get other than Sarri right now.
Yeah, I agree.
The only managers I would consider getting is Zidane, Klopp, and Guardiola, and obviously they're tied down to their respective clubs. They don't look like they're leaving anytime soon. So I think Sarri knows it. I think the management knows. There's no really if you get another manager like a Pochettino that we've been linked with in recent weeks, it's going to be the same story as Sarri. Pochettino, the guy's, I don't think he's won anything. His best project was at Tottenham, where he reached the Champions League final and just didn't do anything else after that. Same project as Sarri, I would assume. But I think Paratici is the first one out the door. I think he needs to go. What he's been doing at Juve is abysmal. He hasn't done anything to help the team at all. He's been buying stupid signings and hasn't been looking at the signings Juventus needed. After 2015, Juventus have lacked the midfield and it hasn't been taken care of. And it's just been free transfers everywhere, but we've been splashing the cash on finished strikers that we shouldn't be getting, 100 forwards, and now they're all out the door. Now we need more forwards somehow after Paritici's been buying left, right, and center of all these forwards. I think we've got to be looking at possible free transfers and possible splashing the cash here. Juventus has money. I think people are forgetting that we have money. It doesn't matter. We have Cristiano Ronaldo, Paulo Dybala. We have a lot of money in Juventus, and we just don't know how to use it. We don't know how to spend it wisely. I think this summer is the time to start spending everything we have to build a super team. If PSG could spend 200 million in one transfer window on two players, why can't we? It's getting ridiculous. I think we start with the David Silva just for the experience for one season, possibly get a Pogba. I don't give a shit if he costs 200 million anymore. We need to start splashing the cash, and it needs to happen now because this is the fall of Juventus. Obviously, a decade of success. I wouldn't even call it success. I call it just, I guess we're just better than the other teams. The other teams are just shit. They drop points. Everyone says we've been paying the refs, and that's why we've been winning because of that stupid 2006 scandal. Inter's dropped points this season. Lazio's dropped points. Atalanta's dropped points. It's if they would win the games they were supposed to win, Juve would be in fourth place right now, like Joe said. I think half the team needs to go. Douglas Costa, I love the guy.
Yeah, I agree.
But he's too injury prone. I think we need Kulavetsky. Sure, 50 million. I think we spent 50 million on him. I don't think he's going to be anything spectacular over here. The kid, every young talent that comes to Juventus sits on the bench, talks with Pinsoglio, comes on and does fuck all. You've seen it with Bernardeschi. Rabiot had a terrible season, but since the restart, he's been one of our best players. The fact that De Ligt's our fourth highest goal scorer is a joke. It's an absolute joke. I love De Ligt, but the guy needs some rest now. He has a shoulder injury that he's just aggravating, and if he's not careful, especially against that Udinese game when the grass was so shit, if he's not careful, we're gonna miss him on Champions League, and then we're gonna have to watch Daniele Rugani. Who that guy has no hunger for the team. He has no passion for the sport. He's perfectly happy sitting on the bench and watching Juve games for free as being the fifth choice center back. He doesn't seem, every time he's on the pitch, he doesn't seem happy to be on the pitch. I see him smiling and laughing more on the bench than he is on the pitch. And that mentality shouldn't be welcomed at Juve. People are forgetting one of the best teams in the world. When you ask people who the best team in the world is, back in the day, before me and Joe were born over here, people would say Juventus. Obviously, the prime Juventus with Del Piero in 1996, where we made like 4 or 5 Champions League finals in a row. Obviously, we didn't win them all like we should have, but nonetheless, we were such a dominant team back then. We were viewed as the best team in the world, and now when you ask people, they'll say Liverpool, they'll say Man City, they'll say Madrid, Barca, Bayern. We're dropping down that list further and further. And we need to show people why we're the best in the world, and clearly we're not showing that. Like Joe said, we didn't win the Scudetto this year. Well, we might not even win. I don't want to jinx anything. But if we win this year, it's not because we were the better team. It's because everyone else was too shit to pull their socks up and to actually win. Like I was saying, I think Sarri's out the door this season. I think the fans are gonna want an uproar with this horrific season. I don't agree with it necessarily. I think the guy needs another season. Let's see what Artur brings to the table. But yet again, I think we need a whole transfer. I think Joe could agree with me here. I don't remember one transfer window where I said wow, Juventus really spent the cash where it was deserved. We really had a really good transfer window. It's
Yeah.
usually we get 1 or 2 signings at the beginning, and then it's no more. We don't really sign anyone after that. We've seen last year with De Ligt, a bunch of free transfers in De Ligt. The season before it was Ronaldo. And I think we need to start splurging the cash. Why can't we have money? We've been winning the Serie A every year for the past 10 years. We've been, minus the past 2 years, we've been winning the Coppa Italia a lot. We've been progressing in Champions League, getting out of the group, round 16, quarterfinals, wherever it may be. We have money. We don't spend it like we should. I don't know where this money is going. I don't know if it's going in Yeli's pocket. I don't know where this money is going, but we need to start splurging the cash, pull up PSG, get an uproar. I don't care if we get FFP and we're banned for Champions League for a season. Who gives a shit? We got to start splurging the cash now when we have it. Just get a huge midfield uproar. Spend 300 million on Kevin De Bruyne. I really don't care anymore. We really need. We're lacking hunger in the team. Everyone, when they walk on the pitch and they say, I'm playing for Juventus, it's getting to a point of, oh, we're going to win the Scudetto, who cares? I'm not going to try. We're not going to try. And we've seen with both games against that Lazio game, it was one of the best performances I've seen this season, and we only won 2-1. But we played very dominant. We played like we wanted to win. Against Udinese, the players were walking around. They were laughing at each other. I don't know what the fuck was in their drinks or the food in the morning, but they didn't play like they wanted to win. They didn't have the mentality, the hunger, especially Sat bench, writes on a shit little notepad and has a stupid cigarette butt in his mouth that he can't smoke. I don't know what he's writing down on that notepad. I think he forgets that he's a manager. It's like my no on the recliner watching games at home. You know, where you say, oh, do this, but you don't really have an impact because you're watching TV. I think Sadi thinks he's watching TV at home and he's writing notepads to show his grandkids on how the team should be playing. I hope he understands. He could just get up from his the Juventus chair over there and start yelling at the players. I hope he knows he has that power and responsibility for the team. I really hope he starts yelling. I think the Juventus board need to start putting Sadi on a strict line over here and tell him what needs to be done. I've seen Nedved, the poor guy, Nedved and Agnelli just both disappointed in Juventus. I haven't seen them celebrate erratically like I used to. And I think it's just a disappointed. I think Paratici, the guy just looks and he doesn't give a shit. You could tell he doesn't give a shit about Juventus. I think he needs to go. We need to get someone that really cares about Juventus. And need I say, if Sadi does get sacked, I only want one man to replace Sadi, and that's Marcello Lippi. We need a guy who has balls, who has charisma, who has a history of winning trophies, especially at Juventus. And I think the thing Sadi lacks is a big name. When Ronaldo looks at Sadi, he's like, what the fuck are you? I have more trophies than you. You're a nobody to me. I think Marcello Lippi walks in with the World Cup he has, the Champions League he has. He's going to yell at the players. He's going to tell them who's boss. He's going to put them on a straight line like they should be. And I think the biggest thing that no team, no sport does that really gets me angry that I think they should do is I think Paratici needs to walk into the room with Agnelli and Nedved and say, listen, this is fucking ridiculous. Now we're Juventus, we're a winning team, and we haven't shown the hunger to win. Every game you lose 1% of your wages. I think then you'll see the players with the fire up their ass, not wanting to lose their precious money. They're a bunch of spoiled brats on the pitch. They don't care. Ronaldo's making 30 million a season. You really think he gives a fuck if he loses Scudetto with Juventus? He has a million other trophies. I don't think he gives a shit. I think once you say, listen, Dillet, you lose 1% of your wages. The guy's only 20 years old. He's like, fuck, I need this money. I need to care for my family. This is my profession. This is ridiculous. Let's fucking win. I think that's what we need to be doing. Every loss, 1% of your wages. If we lose in a Champions League final, 3% of your wages. If we lose the Scudetto, which should never happen with the team we have, 5% of your wages. I think Coppa Italia final, 2% of your wages. I think it needs to happen. And this is ridiculous. If the bench players want to complain, do something in training to show why you should start that game. This is ridiculous. I'm sick and tired of seeing the bench laughing and talking to each other on the bench. It should never be. Everyone on the bench should be pissed off that they're not playing the game.
We don't even have a bench anymore. There's no player to come on and, if we're losing a game, to make an impact. It's just all Primavera players and injury prone players.
The players on the bench, they don't show any hunger of why they should be starting. They don't. Usually back in the day, you'd be on the bench, you'd see the players all miserable and pissed off because they weren't selected to the team. Juventus need to have that mentality back. When I see, obviously Pinsolio is the Juventus cheerleader, third string goalie, you're never going to see a minute on the field. He laughs, he's happy, I like the guy. But when you see players like Rugani, Dimiral, Bernadeschi, Douglas Costa on the bench laughing, I don't think they should be laughing. I think they should be pissed off. They'd be like, oh wow, I should be starting this game. This is what I'm paid to do. I'm paid to entertain. I'm paid to play soccer, and I'm sitting here on the bench. They're laughing because they're getting paid so much money just for sitting on the bench and watching a Juventus game. I think half the fans would love to have that job, to sit on the bench and watch a Juventus game for free. But anyway,
we're all getting paid.
Anything you have to say, Joe? Because I went a lot into detail there. Just want to give it back to you here.
Yeah, I completely agree with Francesco, 110% of what he says. There's no hunger in the team. Like he said, you look at the bench and there's players making big money like Douglas Costa and, sometimes Bernadeschi, and they're on the bench, laughing and joking around. And when you play for Juve, you have to, really fight for your spot. There's only a few players who really have a spot in the team. And I would say it's either Ronaldo, Dybala, and De Ligt. Other than that, you should be fighting for your place in the team. And at the same time, the players that are on the bench, they don't even deserve to be on the bench of Juventus. You have players like Douglas Costa and you got players like Federico Bernadeschi that together scored only one goal a season in the Serie A. And that was that great goal Costa scored a couple weeks back, I think, against Genoa. We're paying this guy $6 million a year. We're paying a player like Sami Khedira $6 million a year. Together, that's over $10 million in salary for two guys that, don't score, don't assist, and don't even play for Juve. So not only do we have to know what players to buy, but at the same time, we can't really always get these free transfers. I'm friggin' sick of getting these free fucking players every year, and they turning out to be Medicore and then sold the year after. If you get a player, stick with the player and build around him. We saw it with Emre Can last year. I really didn't see any problems with Emre Can last year. We got him on the free, and then he got pushed out the door. We saw it with.
Would have been a better center back than Rugani.
Yeah, he's a great center. He could play multiple positions. He was a good midfield. He had hunger, which I really liked. He had the grinta that the Juve midfield needed at the time. He would hunt down balls. He would protect his players. He would do his job. And then he was sold because Mauricio Sarri didn't fit in his plans. Another player I was pissed off was Mandzukic. This is a player we needed right now.
Yeah, I agree.
A depth player that you could cross a ball in and he could get a head on it. A player that gives his 110% every other game. That could play multiple positions. A real Juve fan favorite that got pushed out the door for really no reason why. And the player that we didn't replace. If you sell a player, you have to replace him, especially if you're Juventus. We really have no depth. There was a time where we would have 3 or 4 strikers all together. Now we only have really one striker or 2 strikers with Dybala and Ronaldo. Higuain's always either injured. Dybala, you really rarely see him play the full 90 minutes with games in a row. And Ronaldo, he's up there in age, but at the same time, I don't know if people are going to agree with me, but if we didn't have Ronaldo this year, I think that we wouldn't be in the position that we were. I think that he's really carrying this team from the front to the back. And I really think that we have to give credit to Ronaldo when we do. Not only does he get the goals for us, but he's always giving his 110 too. We have to really applaud him for that. 30 goals at 35 years old is not easy to do. But other than Ronaldo and Dybala, this team's really piss poor. It's not even piss poor. It's just really embarrassing. It's really shit. The midfield, the defense has more goals in the midfield, and that tells you something. We keep talking about Bentancur, but at the most, he's not going to turn out like a Pogba. He's not going to turn out like a Pirlo. He's a good player, but he's not going to be a great player. I hope I'm wrong on that, but he's not a midfield that's gonna win you games. He's not a midfield that's gonna really produce a great assist or a nice goal when you need it. He's a good midfield, a holding midfield that's going to help the team around with passing. And I want to see more of a Vidal type player. I want to see more of a Pogba type player. Like Francesco said, the midfield hasn't been solved since 2015. I don't know what the hell they're thinking. You sell Pogba, you replace Pogba. At the time, we sold Pogba and we replaced him with a striker. Did we really need a striker at that time? Maybe not, but we needed in the midfield. So, this summer, if Juve don't buy it, Arthur is not enough. You're getting rid of Pjanic. Arthur is not enough. You're going to need more than Arthur. And it's not only the midfield that this team needs. They need a game plan. They need a plan B. Mauricio Sarri doesn't have a plan B. Once his team is down, there's no substitutions. It's the same fucking substitutions every fucking game. It's Ramsey off, Matuidi on. It's Bernardeschi off, Costa on. There's no fluency in other substitutions. It's the same three guys coming in and off every other game. Then Costa comes on, he gets injured, he's out for 2 weeks. Matuidi came on, I don't know what the hell he did yesterday. He didn't create anything. And then the worst thing of all, he took off Danilo and he put on Cuadrado. We needed a goal and he put on a right back. So Mauricio Sarri, I don't know what's going on in his mind. I think the guy's a little lost. You're trying to win a game and you're bringing on Juan Cuadrado for right back. It didn't make no sense. But like I said before, there's no depth in the team. You can't really bring on anyone else. It's either Costa or Matuidi from the bench. There's not a Tevez. There's not a Mandzukic. There's not a Llorente to bring on to say, we need to go across the ball and see what happens. We're bringing on wingers to create. When you have one guy like Ronaldo in the box against three center backs, I don't care how good he is, he's not going to score. No players are going to score when three guys are on you. There has to be a new game plan. There has to be more depth in this Juve team, or else I really see us becoming an AC Milan. I really see us, winning all these trophies and then slowly declining over the years. Like I said before, this is the worst Juve team I've seen in my entire life. And if it wasn't for other teams slipping off, we wouldn't have won the Serie A this year. We lost the Supercoppa Italia final. We lost the Coppa Italia final. Serie A, I really don't know if we're going to win it. We still have to win just one game, but, we've been saying that for the last couple of weeks here. The Champions League, I really don't see us going nowhere. I hope we just get eliminated so all these guys could get a break. De Ligt could get a shoulder surgery and we can rebuild for the next year. Because even if we beat Leon, we're going to get absolutely destroyed by either Manchester City or Real Madrid. So it's better we lose now and not get humiliated later. Just get the fuck out with Costa and Bernardeschi and Danilo. Even Alexandro needs to get out. I don't know what he was doing on that first goal yesterday. The guy looks lost. The guys are on the counter attack and he's running in from the midfield. So, there's so many, really lots of problems. There's not only like a couple of problems that you look at and say, okay, we could get rid of this guy and we could bring another guy in. There's multiple problems and that worries me and a lot of Juve fans. The right back sucks, the left back sucks, the midfield sucks, the attack sucks, the coach sucks, the management sucks. So the whole Juve team, it's not going to take one season because we know that Juve is not going to go in the summer and buy $500 million worth of players. That's not what Juve does. And if we would do that, that means that we have to sell someone big because that's always the case. If we buy big, we have to sell big. De Bruyne, these guys are not going to come to Juve. Pogba, I don't think is going to come to Juve. You're not going to see players like that come now because Juve is that cheap. You're going to see, these couple of players. Maybe the guy from Leon will come in. I really would like Zaniolo, but I don't think that Roma will sell, especially now, to us. Yeah, Juve needs a lot of rebuilding. It starts with management, and you know what? I really think that Sarri is not a coach for Juve. I think that we haven't progressed anywhere this year. We didn't give him the right players, but we've been playing bad football since last season. We've been saying attacking football. We want attacking football since Allegri left, and then we finally got an attacking football coach, and we're playing the same way Allegri used to play. But Allegri the Serie A would have been over right now with Allegri. I'm pretty sure we would have won the Coppa Italia final with Allegri. It's just the stubbornness from Maurizio Sarri. It's the same starting 11 every other week. It's the same substitutions. And once you play a counter-attacking football against us, you already know it's going to cause us problems.
Yeah, I want to agree with that. The counter-attacking football seems to be our kryptonite over here. A lot of teams in Serie A, like with the Udinese, they play that they play that counter-attacking football, and they really we couldn't just break through them. It's starting to get a little ridiculous now. Like Joe said, everyone's saying we got Sarri for it because of his project at Napoli. Paratici and Agnelli were really impressed on that. But I'm yet to see the Sarri ball in action. I've seen a glimpse, maybe 2 or 3 games this entire season where I saw Sarri ball, and after that it seems to disappear the next game after. I don't know what the Sarri ball is. I don't know if the Sarri ball is slipping some drugs into the players' drinks and having them on steroids. Really don't know what it is, but against Lazio, against Napoli, the first game of the season, I saw the glimpses of Sarri ball, but after that, I'm yet to see it. Players like Mandzukic, like Joe said, should have never been sold. Only reason he was sold accordingly is because he didn't fit Sarri ball. But yet again, I haven't seen the Sarri ball in action. Allegri said Dybala and Ronaldo couldn't play together. Sarri got them to play together. He got Cuadrado to play right back for how shit Danilo is. This whole team needs an uproar. It needs Paratici. I don't want to see it the next game. I don't give a shit. I want him in his office working his ass off to get the players out of the club, to bring players in. That's what he should be doing. The only reason Paratici should be watching the games is when the transfer window is closed and when there's no business to be done. I think there's a lot of business to be done. This isn't FIFA career mode over here. You can't just go into the transfer market, sell this player, and it simulate 2 days and the player's sold. It takes weeks. It takes months to sell a player. You have to figure everything out, the small details. It's not easy. So I don't understand why Paratici is laughing with Agnelli on the bench over there. Looking at the team, he should be in the office. I'm pretty sure after just 3 games left in the Serie A for Juventus and for the other teams, I don't think you're going to see anything different with these players in the 3 games. And if you do, it doesn't matter. They've had the whole season. If they couldn't produce, they couldn't do anything else. They should be on the transfer market. You should be looking at players to bring in. I don't care where you get them from. I don't care how much they cost. Paratici should be doing a much better job. You shouldn't be enjoying the games right now if there's business to be done. It's like when you go on work. You don't get a break every 5 minutes. You got to work and then you get the break. Paratici, I haven't seen him work yet. So why the fuck is he on break watching the Juve games? He should be in the office putting Bernardeschi on the market, putting Costa on the market. Like Joe says, if you want to buy big, you got to sell big. And I'm pretty sure Bernardeschi and Costa we could sell for a pretty penny. I'm pretty sure they're going to be our big things. We sold Pjanic for 70. You got our Artur for 80. So that I guess that's okay. We really gotta destroy this Juve team and rebuild from scratch. Danilo needs to go. I don't care if you send him to Sao Paulo, picking papayas for free. I really don't give a shit where they go anymore. The Giglio, the guy, I forgot he was a Juve player. I saw people talking about him. Rugani, the guy's too complacent on the bench. He needs to get sold back. Send him back home to Empoli. Send Rugani back home to Empoli for €2 million. I really don't care. Juve fans have been saying he's a young talent for the past 20 years now. The guy's 20. How old is he? Like 25, 26?
25, 26, yeah.
People think the Lit's 25 for how good he is. The guy's only 20. People think Rugani's only 20. The guy's 25. They're playing like shit. He should be sold. Send them all to China. I don't care. I don't care what you have to do. A little under the table deals with Luca Moggi over there, the corrupt. You forget I sent this back to Serie B. Bring in Cannavaro. Bring in Lippi. Bring someone who shows hunger and has a decorated class of trophies to show the team, to say I'm the boss. With Maurizio Sarri, the only thing he has to bring to the team is I got Napoli 91 points, and I have a Europa League trophy with Chelsea, which we had N'Golo Kante, Eden Hazard. We had a stacked team that shouldn't never been in Europa League. That's all he has to show. When it comes to Juventus, he's going to show a Coppa Italia loss, a Supercoppa loss, the Scudetto, hopefully a win. If it's a loss, Sarri's out the door. But that's all he has to show. When players like Ronaldo, even Pinsoglio has more trophies than Maurizio Sarri. So I think Sarri needs to stand up and show who's the boss here. He treats Ronaldo like he's the boss. Ronaldo, I've never seen on the bench yet. I've seen him come off a couple of times, and yes, it's Cristiano Ronaldo. He's a machine, but at the same time, you could tell when he plays the games he's fatigued. He's tired. He's lazy. He's going after his personal goals, which is nice, but he needs to be more team-oriented, team-faced oriented. You could see against Udinese, especially when he was on the ball, he was taking stupid shots. He was doing the same thing over and over again, challenging the same defender, and it wasn't working. I think he needs to be more team inclusive. Start passing to Dybala a little bit more. Start passing back to the midfield if he needs to. Instead, Ronaldo, when he gets the ball, his aim is for goal. He could have 7 defenders on him. He'll still shoot the ball. The free kicks, he's too stubborn. He wants to take every free kick, even though he's 1 for 45 or 1 for 46. He needs to realize what his strengths and what his weaknesses are, and I don't think he knows what his weaknesses are. He thinks he's good at everything. He's not. But nonetheless, Sadi needs to be a man and say, listen, Ronaldo, you're going to be on the bench this game. You're too tired. You need to relax. We need you for Champions League. I think you need a wake-up call over here because you've been playing too selfishly. And what's Ronaldo going to do? Cry on the bench? That's going to be a player. And I think that's going to be an example. When Ronaldo's on the bench, he's going to be pissed off. He's going to be throwing a hissy fit on the bench. And I think players need to take that's what the hunger on the bench should be. Everyone on the bench should be like what Ronaldo would be like on the bench, because that's what the mentality of Juventus needs. I think Juventus needs to get to the point again where we're gonna have Cristiano Ronaldo and probably Bell on the bench, and Juve fans are gonna be happy about that for how good the team is. I think it's gonna be a while until we get there. And, like Joe said, I don't think we're gonna get as bad as AC Milan, but I think we're getting way too complacent with this stupid Scudetto. We have 9 in a row. Well, I don't want to jinx anything, but about to be 9 in a row already. When's going to be the turning point of when we say, okay, guys, fuck Scudetto, we want the Champions League? And we've been saying this stupid Champions League for years now, and we haven't gotten close. We've made the final in 2017, and Allegri tried being a fairy tale manager over there. 2018, fucking Madrid in the quarterfinals. 2019, the quarterfinals to Ajax because we started celebrating when we shouldn't have. I think this tie against Lyon is perfect. Maurizio Sarri says he does well under pressure, and against Lazio you saw that. I guess we played really well against Lazio, and then when we thought we had won already, we choked. So I mean, the mentality, like I said before, the mentality in Juventus just isn't there. A lot of things are missing in this team. I think the first thing needs to happen right now before the transfer window fully opens. I think Agnelli, the guy's too young. I'm pretty sure Buffon's older than him. I don't know the exact age, but I know Buffon's close to Agnelli's age. I feel for the guy. He's young. He got thrown in a situation he shouldn't have. But at the end of the day, Agnelli's the owner of Juventus. He's the main man in charge. I don't care how young or how old he is. He needs to sit down and say, listen, Fabio Paratici, what have you done with Juventus? I haven't seen any improvements. Pavel Nedved, I don't think he likes Paratici. I remember he was really on the vocal part of saying he wants Allegri gone because he doesn't like how he's treating the interviews, how Juventus are playing. Obviously, Nedved's part of a Juventus team that was playing phenomenal football, and then now watching this, he must hold his head down in shame for how poor he could do. He can't really do anything. I think Nedved and Agnelli need to sit down with Paratici and say, listen, this is ridiculous. You need to go. You haven't done anything well to the table. Bring in a sporting director that really cares for Juventus and really has a valid project, because every time if Paratici has an interview and people ask what his project is, he doesn't say anything, which I understand. You want to spill your secrets. But then the transfer window comes and we bring in nobody. We bring in these shit free transfers. I mean, Rabiot's working out now, but before then he brought Rabiot on a free transfer for 9 million euros a season for a guy who sat on the bench of PSG for the entire season, didn't play one game. For a guy who thought he was bigger than the France national team, when they want to bring him in, and he said no because I don't want to be on the bench. I deserve to be starting, and I respect that. But when it's the France national team, as a soccer player, as a football player, wherever you're watching this from, your main goal should be playing for your national team, whether it's Iran, whether it's France, whether it's Germany, Brazil, wherever you're from. Your main goal should be playing for that national team, and to disrespect him like that is just not okay. And the fact that Paratici and Juventus took a gamble on the kid, I'm glad he's working out now. He's a really quality midfielder, just needs to produce a little bit more, in my opinion. He's starting to get there. But for us to take a gamble and to give him $9 million a year, which I don't care how good he is right now, he still doesn't deserve that much of a salary for what he's accomplished. He hasn't accomplished anything yet, and I think we got to stop with this. I think we got to sit down with the players and really value on who's worth what. Like I said, Ronaldo $30 million a year. I'd give him $30 million a year. For next season, I dropped the wages though a bit just to give a little hunger for Cristiano. The guy's making more on his Instagram than he is for playing for Juventus anyway, so it's not going to make a dent in his bank account. He doesn't really need the money. I think you sit down with Ronaldo and say, listen, Cristiano, last season, yes, you scored 30 goals, but I think we need to set an example with you. For this season, we're going to give you $27 million a season. Drop your wages for $3 million. Win the Champions League, you'll get that $3 million back. And just give a goal to these players because all they care about is money. They don't care about the trophies. You can see Cristiano Ronaldo. I don't think he gives a shit if he wins the Champions League with Juventus. He just gives a shit about that stupid Ballon d'Or. For him, I understand when you're considered one of the greatest players of all time, you have other goals aside from the team aspect. And I think with Dybala, I think he's the only fighter on Juventus. De Ligt, he's still making mistakes. You saw against Udinese, he's still young. He still needs to develop. So, but Dybala is the only guy on Juventus. He's really the core of Juventus. He's the only guy. You see, Maurizio Sarri's playing him striker, and he's running back sitting beside, shaking De Ligt's hand just to get the ball because no one else wants to get the ball. No one has that hunger. No one has that mentality to get the ball and bring it up to the strikers. I don't know what this Artur Melo guy is going to be doing, but so far I don't like him. He's already badmouthed Juventus, saying it's a retirement league. He doesn't want to come here. He doesn't like Juventus. So already the attitude's a problem. Hopefully he smartens up and realizes that he's going to be getting paid a lot. He's going to be on a world-class team. I really have high hopes for him. 80 million euros. We could have bought Pogba for that money, who we already know is class for Juventus and best friends with Paulo Dybala. So let's see what he does. Joe, anything you have to add?
I have a question. Do you see us progressing anywhere in Champions League? Do you see it a goal? Because it's not after the Lyon game. If we win, as it's highly unlikely, but as I see it right now. But if we do beat Lyon, because the games are one game and not two-legged, do you see us upsetting, or do you see us going anywhere? Or
Joe, if I'm being honest here, I think we're gonna beat Lyon. I think we'll win against Lyon. I think, like Sadi said, he does well under pressure. So I do see us beating Lyon. Madrid and City, I don't know who we're gonna face. I'm praying for Madrid. No one on Madrid scares me. I think we could beat Madrid. I think we'll beat Madrid if we face Madrid. I think Bayern or Barca. Well, obviously you don't want to value out Napoli. If it's Napoli in the semifinals, God, I think Napoli's going to beat us if I'm being honest. But if it's Bayern or Barca, I do see us winning against Bayern or Barca. Bayern doesn't really have a defense. So I think we could exploit that. I think Cristiano Ronaldo will exploit that. With Barca, the last time we faced them was 2017. And we beat them 3-0. That was without Cristiano Ronaldo. That was Barca had a better team. Barca have been like Juventus. They've been on poor form. They've been really declining over the years. So I think we could beat them. And in the finals, if it's PSG, I think we'll lose. If I'm being honest, but I think if it's Atletico Madrid, we'll win. But then again, it's easier said than done. I'm just praying Manchester City. I hope they get a corrupt call from UEFA as they hate him. The UEFA seems to have an agenda against City. I really hope Madrid get a last second penalty to win the game, from a dive or something, whatever it may be. I really want Madrid in the quarterfinals. I think UEFA's going for that storyline of Cristiano Ronaldo faces his former team of Real Madrid. But yet again, it's easier said than done. We have to really focus on right now, Joe, we should be on this podcast celebrating, saying we won the Scudetto, now focus on the Champions League. And now we're here giving a Juventus rant on how we might not even win the Scudetto. So I think our main focus should be Sampdoria, beating Sampdoria.
Yeah.
The Juventus in the past with Del Piero, Trezeguet, Zidane, all those players, we would face Sampdoria, we would win 5-0. Now we're facing Sampdoria, and the Juventus fans are praying we could even get a win over here. This is how backwards the club has gone. This is how the disgrace the club's gone, and I feel bad for Gianni Agnelli. The poor guy's probably rolling around his grave for what's happening with this. But anyway, I think we gotta focus on Lyon. I think if we lose against Lyon, I think Sarri's out the door. I think if Sarri wins the Scudetto, beats Lyon, and loses in the quarterfinals, I think he's still going to be on for another year. We just got to hope and pray that we beat Olympique Lyonnais. It's not going to be easy. Everyone sees the team. They see that Juventus is a better team on paper, but they forget that Lyon, their goal came from injuring De Ligt, and we had to defend a set piece without a center back, and that's why they scored. But Juventus couldn't capitalize. We were in their stadium. They were playing, like Joe said, we can't seem to defend well against counterattack football, and that's exactly what Olympique Lyonnais play. They play 11 men behind the ball, and they have that one goal poacher who's just standing there, and that's why we lost. So hopefully in the Allianz Stadium, I mean, there's going to be no fans, so it doesn't make a difference. But hopefully Ronaldo really takes a leadership role like he does in the big games, like he did against Atletico last season. But I think a formation change is needed. I think a whole different change is needed, and we got to test them out now in these 3 games, because after that, where the hell are we going to test them out? Against the Serie B players, or the Serie cheap players of Juventus? It's ridiculous. I think we got to start experimenting now. Against the Sampdoria game, we do what works. We get the win, and then once we win that, hopefully we win that against Cagliari and Roma. I think we gotta change our formation, change some tactics around, switch some plays around, and really test them out to see what wins, because those are the 2 perfect teams to experiment with. We got 2 teams that could easily beat us on our day. So we test a new tactic out to see how good they are against a really good team. I mean, we won't be testing these guys against a Lecce or a Brescia, where we would win with Pinsolio and net. We test them against a Roma, where if we're not careful, they'll beat us. And I think that's what we need to be doing. I don't think it'll happen, though. I think we're going to play the same stupid formation, the same stupid tactics, and pray and hope for the best. But like I said, as Juventus fan, I'm praying we beat Lyon, and then we get Madrid in the quarterfinals, because if we get City, I think it's game over for us. I think with Aguero and Sterling and Mahrez, I think those 3 are going to just eat Alexandro alive, and I think
especially Sterling.
Especially with Kevin De Bruyne making the amazing balls, I don't think there's anything we're going to be able to do about it. And like I said, City lack a defense line. They have Laporte, they have Walker, they have Cancelo, but I don't see them with another center back. Eric Garcia has been playing really good this season, so hopefully like I said, we're at a point where Juventus wouldn't be scared of anyone. They'd be like, oh, Ajax in their prime, we'll beat them. Oh, Madrid, oh, Barca, who cares? We could beat them. But now Juventus fans are at a point where if you said 20 years ago, in 1996, that in 20 years you guys are going to be scared to face Manchester City, they're even like, what the fuck's a Manchester City? Now here we are 20 years later, and we're scared of Manchester City side we shouldn't be scared of. But yet our team's declined in value, declined in hunger, declined in sport, and we really got to be careful on what we do here. We really got to play our cards right here, because this is the last season for Chiellini, in my opinion. I think he's going to be a bench player next season. Cristiano Ronaldo, he's getting up there in age. I think he's just building up his stature for a final Ballon d'Or to get 6 with Messi. And then after that, he's off the door to Inter Miami FC. I think
next year will be his last year with us.
Yeah, I agree. I think next year, he's just gonna try to go for that Ballon d'Or. He's gonna get the Ballon d'Or, the 6th Ballon d'Or, to tie with Lionel Messi. And after that, he's gonna go to Inter Miami FC with his best friend David Beckham. I think that's what's gonna happen. I think we really gotta play our cards right here, because this Champions League, I think it favors Juventus than other teams. I think we play better against bigger teams. Like we said, when we face Lazio, when we face big games like Atletico Madrid in the Champions League, you could see the glimpses of Sarri ball. So I think we have that advantage to us. We play better against teams that actually want to score. Teams like Olympique Lyonnais, teams like Udinese, who they're scared of Juventus. They park the bus. They play 11 men behind the ball. We play like shit against them. We just really can't capitalize on there. But teams like Atletico Madrid, teams like Barcelona, who aren't scared of us, and they actually try. They actually bring the ball up and score and try to score the ball. I think we play better against those teams. So I think we have the advantage here. We just got to be smart with it. I don't want to see Maurizio Sarri sit on the stupid chair once. If I have to go to the stadium in Lisbon, if we beat Lyon, if I have to go to the stadium myself and unscrew the stupid chair so there's no chairs for them to sit on, I want the whole bench standing. I want the management, the team standing on the sidelines, yelling at the team the whole game. I'm sick and tired of this. They're getting paid millions of euros to sit on a fucking bench and write down notes and laugh. Tell jokes at each other. It's ridiculous. This isn't the Tim Hortons House League tournament. It is the real deal. This is the big leagues. Time to show it. Take the bench out. The players don't deserve the bench. After this abysmal season, the players don't deserve to sit on the bench. The management doesn't deserve to sit down on the bench. I don't care if it's pouring. I don't care if it's 40-degree weather outside. Fuck the cooling breaks. They need to earn it. The players have played 20 minutes. They're playing like shit for the 20 minutes. They get a stupid bottle of water. They drink it, and nothing changes. If you want a bottle of water, actually play, actually run, actually show why you deserve that bottle of water. Otherwise, you could suffer. You could suffer in the heat. If you don't want to show why you deserve the bottle of water, you don't deserve it. It's like if you're going on a run, if you're just walking and you have one bottle of water, you have a guy who's actually training, who's going on a jog, who's running, and you have another guy who's just going on a nice morning stroll. Who are you going to give the water to? You're not going to give the water to the guy walking. You're going to give the guy to the guy running, because he actually showed that he's sweating. He's actually trying. He's actually performing the exercise. When you have Danilo just walking on the field and Dybala just running back, you have one bottle of water, you're going to give it to Dybala. Why? Because he's actually showing hunger and determination and grit on the field. I think this cooling break, yes, it's hot out there. Yes, the players are playing in extreme heat. But if you're not showing why you deserve that bottle of water, you don't deserve it. Get rid of the stupid cooling break. The other team could have it. I don't care. And then I want the players watching as the other team drinks the water and cools off and say, why the fuck aren't we getting water? And then Sarri says, listen, you guys need to run for that water. And then the bench, get rid of the bench. Have them all stand. Have them all exercise during the 45 minutes. Have their own game on the sidelines. I don't care what they do. They don't deserve to be sitting down and laughing and joking. I'm sick and tired of this shit now. We got to show why Juventus. I want the top world-class players to stay. I don't want to play for Juventus because the way they treat the players, their winning mentality is so much that if I play, I got to make sure I'm on the starting lineup or I'm fucked here. I think that's what we got to do. That's what we lack. You got to think that, Joe?
Yeah, well, I think we really went over everything here. It's just really in a dark hole right now with Juve, and hopefully there's light at the end of the tunnel here. Again, this Sunday, Juve versus Sampdoria, it's a big game. I've said it again, and I'll say it again. If we don't beat Sampdoria this week, we will be in lots of trouble, because Cagliari gives us problems, and then Roma at the end, anything could happen there. So yeah, this Sunday is a must-win game. We're not going to see a lot of changes. We're going to just see brilliance again from either Dybala or Ronaldo. We're going to win the Serie A, and then hopefully the next 2 games we rest the players for the Champions League. I really don't see us going anywhere in the Champions League. We could beat Lyon, but then at the end we'll lose to Man City or Real Madrid. And then we're going to see this off-season. Lots of players need to be sold.
If they get sold.
Yeah, if they get sold, because I really don't see any players picking up Costa or Bernardeschi. Why would you pay 20 million for a right wing and Bernardeschi that scored, one goal in the last 3 years? Even with Costa, these guys combined with 3 goals in the last 2 years, it's absolutely disgusting. And it shows you how much Ronaldo and Dybala meant to this team. Higuain. The defense has more goals in the midfield, but we already got into that subject. I'm not going to go into it in it again. Just lots of problems with this Juve team, and I've never seen it before. It's from management to team, and hopefully this summer we see lots of changes. A report just came out from Monblano. Luca Monblano, the GOAT. He says it's very, very unlikely that Maurizio Sarri will be the coach of Juve next season. I really see him. He will be the coach of Juve. I think that he's not going anywhere. Like Francesco said, there's nobody really to replace him. If there was a Zidane, Guardiola, or like a Klopp available, then yeah, maybe. But you're not going to replace him to get a Pochettino in. A guy that then you're going to have to start a new project with. Yeah, we're going to see next year if Maurizio Sarri with the players he needs and wants, if there's a difference. And if there's not, he should really been out. He should have really been out this season, but because there's nobody to really replace him, I really don't see him going anywhere.
Yeah, I agree.
Hopefully a win this Sunday. It wraps it up to Serie A, this really stressful Serie A season that we've been really treated to really bad soccer from Juve and just individual performances by some players. I really just hope the season just ends. Like I said, I really hope that we just lose to Lyon because I really don't see us really going anywhere with Man City or Real Madrid. I just hope we lose to Lyon and then we Dilip gets his shoulder surgery and we just start building for next season. Hopefully I win this Sunday and that's really it. I really have nothing else to say.
Yeah, we for all the fans that are Juve fans, just let us know, message us on Twitter, on Instagram, at Six Side Calcio. Just let us know what your opinions on the topics we covered today.
Tell us what you think that Juve should change. Tell us what your opinions are on the situation. Just let us know and we'll reply to you.
Yeah, and for the other fans that stuck on and watching for a nice laugh with the nice bag of popcorn, the Roma fans, the Napoli fans, the Lecce fans, whatever team you support, and you're sitting here and saying, oh, big deal, you're complaining about winning another Scudetto. My team hasn't won a trophy in X amount of years. My team will never win a trophy of that stature. You're complaining. It's just a mentality. When you're used to winning, you get too comfortable. These problems start arising. And if you're in the same shoes, I guess it's really hard to put in the shoes of a Juventus fan. Because, like I said, like Enzo with the Roma fan, he'd probably be like, oh, you're complaining about winning a Scudetto, big deal. My team hasn't won in X amount of years. They'll probably never win. I'll probably never see them win. But in that case, you can't really say, like, we can't put yourselves in your shoes, and you can't put yourselves in our shoes. So hope you enjoyed the rant. Hope you had a good laugh. Hope you, for the Juve fans and even other fans, like the Milan fans, the Roma fans, Napoli fans, Inter fans, whatever you might be, let us know what your opinions are on Juve this season and in general for the past couple of seasons, what needs to happen, what needs to change. Let us know about your teams, what needs to change about your teams, whether it's Napoli, Milan, Inter, Genoa, Lecce, whatever it might be. Let us know what your team has to do to actually fight for a Scudetto or fight for to stay in Serie A. Just let us know your opinions. Like we said, DM us on Twitter, Instagram at Six Side Calcio. Just let us know. Send us a tweet. Mention us on Instagram. And it's been a long podcast. I think it's a little bit over an hour. But hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And we'll be back with match day previews and match day recaps very soon. So just stay tuned for that. And thank you all for joining. And hope you enjoy.
Yeah, thank you guys. Ciao.
I was nothing but loyal to you.